Happy Wednesday, Wiley here. Checking in live from the house. Just sharing experiences. How y'all do? How y'all feel? You doing okay? Today I got a chance to go and hear this talk about critical artificial intelligence. To be honest, I was just going to the talk because I'm always curious about how other disciplines talk about it. This particular person is a English professor and digital humanities background, and so I'm always curious at how humanities talks about artificial intelligence. They had a lot of great articles that she's written, and she was also given a talk, I guess you call it the main talk at 4:00. But I knew I was not going to be on campus after 4, so I got a chance to go to the 11:00. Well, not 11, but it was noontime talk. And, she started talking about, she had 3 slides. She was talking about, the origination of artificial intelligence. And she had some, so it's very origination, definition of it, the way we've seen it. She talked about it in the context of machine learning, deep learning. And then most recently, it's referenced in, I believe it was the New York Times article. And in the room, there are people that are librarians. There are people that are media studies, creative writing, English, and education. And it was a nice, and I was gonna say librarians, but that particular person too is a librarian, but also is in like labor and policy economics. That's what that particular faculty member was affiliated with. I want to say there might have been a person there from the classics or had a background in the classics. I can't remember. But the interesting thing was the speaker had looked at me a couple of times and asked me, do I have anything to say? I was like, I ain't have anything to say. I was thinking I need to figure out how to turn my face off. I don't know how to do it. I'm still my wife, but I don't know. I mean, maybe my face did look funny when she was explaining machine learning, because I was like, I don't know what she was talking about. I was like, that's not how information scientists would explain it. That's also not what a computer scientist would say. And I guess I say that because I know what machine learning is and does. And sometimes the way people explain it is like, what are you talking about? And then also being the person that before I did the master's degree in library and information science, I was in the master's program for computer science. I really did want to be a computer scientist at one time. Me and programming, I wasn't passionate about it. I could do it, but it felt very isolating. And I was like, I got to get out of this. I was at the point where I'm like, I don't want to just like the check or whatever the check is supposed to be, because I can't really tell you that even doing the master's degree, I was really honed into a job. I was never honed into the job. It was always about the skill set. That's just the way my brain, because I was already working. I was teaching full time at the time, and had decided to continue my education. And I was in the master's program for computer science and transferred from that to library and information science. And I focused on websites, systems design. That's what I focus, information architecture, creating storyboards, and librarianship. So that's what I took in my classes. And my first professional position after finishing my master's degree was the web services librarian at NOAA, one of their libraries. And it was kind of like a very small library. You're working with the scientists. Their things that they love to do was research talks, setting up research talks with other government agencies, setting it up in the library for them to come and eat their lunch or come and have meetings. And even then, they didn't want to be recorded. So that was back, as I say, in the dark ages. Not really, but it was it wasn't early 2000s, but 2007, 2008 to 2012. And the reason I said they didn't like to be recorded, because there used to be this push, this idea for scientists to talk about hurricanes, because that was one of the things that they studied at at the library that I was at. They were the scientists that flew into the eye of the hurricane and tracked all the data. There was also another lab. There was a hurricane prediction center that built models in order to better equip to better equip people, or just to handle hurricanes better. They were the scientists that studied that. Atmospheric science, weather individuals, people that studied the ocean, oceanography, sustainable aquaculture, ocean sensors, those people. Fisheries, real names, real faces, real people who study these things. So even then, I was brainy and interested and always listened to their talks to see how they saw the world, how they saw, climate change, because that was a discussion that's, been going on for a long time. And to hear scientists argue even then about belief and ideologies and what it is they see, and how for some they have many more questions. So just thinking about that. And so that's how I ended up in this talk, because I'm interested in talks and always curious. But while I can tell you that I'm curious about these talks, I'm more interested in how they see it. And what I got from the talk was she was more interested in learning from us, or just wanting people to free write and talk about it. I'm not saying that's wrong. I just really wanted to know what do humanists think about artificial intelligence, because you have so many different conversations about it. You have people that are for it, you have people that are concerned about it in classrooms, that believe we need a policy on it, that people that talk about how people don't necessarily have the skills to know what they're doing. Yet a recent trend right now that you're seeing on Facebook is people write the prompt, they're asking ChatGPT to create a caricature. I don't know, I'm messing that word, but basically create an image of them based on everything that particular knows about them. It's I don't know how to pronounce that word, but anyway, caricature. There you go. Create that based on what ChatGPT knows about them. When people have been posting various images of themselves. And then it seems like there's another conversation about data centers and how the data centers affect the environment and water usage and ethics, and all those conversations go together, in my opinion. So interested today to go to that talk and to hear people talk about that. Like, there was one particular researcher that was talking about meme culture and Elon Musk and Trump ideologies and imperialism being new. They probably didn't like when I said I don't think imperialism is new. It's always been here. Because it has. Let's be real. But I do see meme culture is what is new now, or people use it for different terms, and people use it because it's funny. It's we have memes. People create memes of so many things. I also see meme culture, when I say it's a new form, I think of newspapers and editorials when they used to be editorial images, or the way people have used imagery to discuss so many different things, whether that was good, bad, problematic. I see meme culture being an extension of that. It's just you're using it in this form because of infrastructure, because of technology, because of platform, because of affordance, because of constraints, because you can. That is an extension of something that previously existed. Like if you say, okay, well, maybe not editorial pieces in the newspaper, art, when we think about imagery in terms of magazines, in terms of visual learning, in terms of visualization, those, to me, these are just extensions of things that you've seen that were in another form, in my opinion. Just saying. And how we're continuously discussing what does that mean, or the way my dad used to say, what do you think about that? Just my thoughts, tips, ideas, things that are going on today. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Peace.